my online English class. Hi, this is Amir Hossain, an English teacher, Bhetkhali Karim Secondary School. Dear students, dear learners, I am going to take online class, particularly for the student of class 10, one English second paper. I am going to teach you an important grammatical topic, that is clause. Dear learners, probably you have heard the name of clause. Clause is a part of a sentence. It's a group of words. It must have a subject and a verb. Dear students, dear learners, I have written a sentence. From this sentence, I am trying to clarify or define, or I am trying to make you understand the clause. If I separate this sentence, we can divide it into two different parts. In my definition of clauses, I have told you that a clause must have a subject and verb. It acts as a part of a sentence. This is a part, and I subject have verb. Likewise, which indicates pen. This is subject and is verb. So there are two clauses in a sentence. Each has different name. We will be able to understand after some time, some discussion, when I will discuss about the classification of clauses. So, point to be noted there, student. Clause is a part of a sentence that has subject and verb. It is a group of words. Clause is a part of a sentence. This is a part of a sentence that has subject and verb. I subject have verb. It is a group of words. It can be said a group of words. So I think you have understood what is clause or the definition of clauses. Dear learners, clause has something like a phrase. So you can mingle sometimes, that can be mingled. So you must have knowledge about phrase also. A phrase and clause, there is some similarity, but these two grammatical terms is totally different. Phrase, a group of words. Clause is also a group of words. But the definition of clause is that the clause has subject and verb at a time. In phrase, there is main subject, main verb, but at a time, subject and verb are not available. This is the main difference. Phrase also used as a part of a sentence. Clause also used a part of a sentence. But the main difference is clause has subject verb, but phrase has no subject verb at a time. Now I am going to differentiate, or I am going to classify clause. Generally, clause can be classified in three ways. Clause is three types. The first one is principal clause. The second one is subordinate clause. And the third one, the final one is coordinate. Clause is three types. Clause can be classified in three ways. The first one is principal, the second one is subordinate, and third one is coordinate. So, what is principal clause, what is subordinate clause, what is coordinate clause? Principal clause. Already I have written, I have a pen which is black. I wrote this sentence earlier. This is two different parts of a sentence. There are two different clauses. One is principal clause and another is subordinate clause. How can we understand? How can we recognize? How can we identify the differences of clause? Which one is this clause? What one is principal clause and another is subordinate clause? And which one is coordinate clause? It has some different characteristics. The first one, I have a pen. This is principal clause. Which is black. This is, that one is subordinate clause. Principal clause is that clause. Principal clause is a clause which stands alone itself. It does not depend another clause for its meaning. So I have a pen. If I separate this one from the sentence, it can give a clear expression, clear meaning. It does not depend on another clause. So principal clause is that clause. The clause, principal clause is that clause. A principal clause is a clause which does not depend on another clause. As a result, and that is why principal clause, the name of principal clause is independent clause, because the clause does not depend another clause. And the subordinate clause is a clause that cannot express its meaning itself. It needs the help of principal clause. If we separate which is black from this part, it is totally unable to give a clear conception, to give clear meanings. When we join these two clauses together, this part is able to give clearly. So it is easy to understand which one is principal class and what one is subordinate class. Finally, then the coordinate class. Coordinate class is a class, it is a combination of two independent clauses. Coordinate clause is the combination of two different principal clause with the help of some coordinating conjunction like and or but. If I write this, I have a pen and it is black. This one is coordinate clause because two independent or principal clause is connected with a conjunction, coordinating conjunction and totally or together we can tell it or we can define it as a coordinating clause or coordinate clause. Coordinate clause must have two different principal clauses. If we separate this, then they will be able to express their own meaning. So, I am giving some information that help you to identify the clauses here. Some coordinating conjunction like as, since, because, for, quiz, though, although, etc. The subordinate clause starts with this conjunction. He could not go to there as he was in. The subordinate clause always start with this subordinating conjunction. As is a sign, it's a clause marker of subordinate clauses. As he is in, this is subordinate clause. Now, while there is subordinate clause, there is principal clause. The another one is principal clause. Principal clause has no clause marker. Then there is closer relation between clause and sentences, particularly simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentences. So, if we have idea about the clauses, particularly principal clause, subordinate clause, coordinate clause, we will be able to recognize the different sentences like simple, complex, compound. For your better convenience, for your better understanding, I will come with new video on transformation of sentences, particularly simple, complex, compound. from simple to complex, complex to compound. So before going to this session, we must have about knowledge about the structure or definition of three sentences, particularly simple, complex, compound. If I ask what is simple sentence, the answer is very easy. The sentence has principal clause, that means one subject and infinitive verb, that is called simple sentence. Simple sentence. The sentence has one principal clause and a subordinate clause or more than one subordinate clause, that is called complex. The sentence has coordinating conjunction. The sentence is compound sentence. So it is very easy to understand simple, complex, compound if we have knowledge about principal, subordinate and coordinate clause. So at the end of this session of my discussion, I have tried my level best to make you understand. So I think you have got it well. Thank you all. Till Allah.